I just want to say that I I was this close, this close. I mean, like that. I was that close. Yeah, to going to sleep, Mr. Nightmare. You came in clutch. That's what I'm talking about. But I got what's up, what's up, what's up. I got mine. You best get yours. But let's go. Man, you already know. I'm out. I'm the first one out. Shit. I'm the first one out.
I was 14, 8th grade, last year of middle school.
Right.
I had to go. So I got up from my seat in math class, took the wooden plank that was supposed to be the bathroom pass, and strolled through the hallways to the bathroom.
Right.
The bathroom on the main floor had a sign on it saying out of order, use upstairs or downstairs bathroom. A random older guy walked up to me and asked with a smile on his face if I knew where the nearest bathroom was. I told him yeah, either upstairs or downstairs. He thanked me and walked to the stairs. So to avoid more potential conversation with the guy, I went down. I wondered who that guy could be. Definitely not staff. Maybe a parent. I went down to the lower level, which was literally only for bathrooms and extra locker rooms for the sport teams.
Okay.
I opened the door to the bathroom. The light was off, as usual for this bathroom, since it was the least used one. I went to the stall and shut the door. I covered the toilet seat with paper and sat down. Suddenly, there was a white light flashing in the bathroom, and I heard the sound of the fire alarm outside of the bathroom. It was a fire drill. My heart dropped because I didn't know what to do. It was the first fire drill of the year. Would I get away with just using the bathroom while everyone else was outside?
Really? Really? Yeah, I tell you what though. If I was in the, let's say I was in the middle, I was in his situation, right? And I was in the middle of like using the bathroom, and I was, you know, I was taking a deuce, right? And I hear a fire alarm go off. I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting my poop off prematurely. And I'm clenching my cheeks, cutting it, and running. That's it. Like, I'm like, come on. I'm sorry, but I don't care what I'm doing if I hear a fire alarm of wherever I am, I'm dropping everything, or I'm just stopping completely what I'm doing, and I'm running. Like, even if I'm having sex, even if I mean, be like, excuse me, that was the the like the thing out. I'm out, and I'm running. Like, I'm not about to risk my life. Nah.
At this point, I figured I'd just do it. The flashing light got a bit annoying, as did the alarm coming from outside. Suddenly, the alarm got much louder. Then I realized it was because the door opened, and over came marching somebody right to my stall door. I saw their feet underneath the stall. I thought for sure it was a teacher coming to check the room for any students. They didn't say anything, though. I didn't know if I should say something or not.
Nope, shut the hell up.
I looked at their shoes. They were just facing the door. But I noticed they weren't just standing there. I saw through that dreaded 1-inch crack of the stall door that everybody hates. Someone's face pressed up against it. Most apparently, a man's eye, open as wide as possible. Then there was a chuckle from the other side. I was breathing heavily now, heart racing too. I didn't know if I should scream or not. Then, the person got on his knees and stuck his head underneath the stall to look at me.
Yeah, kick him in the face.
It was that man from the hallway. When he saw it was me, he literally crawled under the door and into the stall and grabbed a hold of me, covering my mouth first thing. I remember he said things like, "Don't struggle and just relax."
What the what?
I didn't know what he was going to do to me. It was an unreal feeling, like my life was flashing before my eyes at such a young age. An age that you think you're invincible. Then, the fire alarm got louder again as the door opened. It was the principal's voice. "Is anybody in here?" I screamed, and though muffled through the man's hand, the principal heard it and came rushing over to the stall trying to open it.
Okay.
He screamed to open the door. The man let go of me, opened the door in the principal's face, and ran for it. The principal was a very old man, so he didn't chase after him. The school also didn't have cameras at this point, so as far as I know, the guy got away. The principal actually hugged me and was very emotional, telling me to come with him so we could call my parents. All my friends saw me almost in tears walking with my parents to their car. It was humiliating, but I was also just happy. The principal saw the man pull the fire alarm and run downstairs, so he slowly but surely made his way down there and checked the bathroom first thing. He unfortunately passed away 5 years ago. I still have great appreciation for that principal. He was my hero in a certain way.
That kid was straight bullshit.
Back in high school, fire drills were usually a lot of fun, depending on what class you were in and which friends you were with. One particular dark, cloudy day during third period, my friends and I who were in the same class heard from the grapevine that there was going to be a fire drill this period. It was a Friday close to the end of the year, and there was really no work for any of us in our later classes. So we figured during the fire drill, we'd sneak down to the sump behind the school by the woods and smoke. We waited anxiously for that ear-piercing ringing to go off, and when it did, it was music to our ears. We looked at each other and laughed, and we were the first ones out of the class and down the hall. While everyone else on this side of the school was headed to the front entrance, we were on our way to the back entrance by the woods.
See? Wow.
We walked out in the middle of the crowd to the back section of the school by the basketball and tennis courts. We were pretty strategic about our escape. We made sure there were no teachers in sight and crossed through a narrow opening between the tennis courts and a line of bushes. That led straight to the sump. A couple of kids watched us and probably thought we were a bunch of weirdos, but it didn't matter. We made it to the sump, which was literally a giant hole in the ground surrounded by bushes and trees, right at the edge of the woods. It had a nickname, but I don't remember it. All I know is it was the place that everyone came to drink, smoke, and do other drugs at night. Kids even had bonfires there before. It was a really dark day. The clouds were a darkish gray, giving the morning an almost early night kind of feeling. The breezy air hinted at a storm approaching too, which honestly just made it more fun for some reason. We waited until all the commotion up the hill quieted down, and we assumed everyone went back inside. Then we started talking and laughing. My friend went through his bag to get out that pipe and grinder. That's when I noticed something in the distance by the woods. It looked kind of like a person's face. A couple shrubs covered where the body would be. But what I saw just looked too much like a face. I looked away for a second to get my friend's attention, and then pointed in the direction of it. But when I looked back, it was gone. They thought I was an idiot, but now that it was gone, I was like 70% sure what I saw was a person. The other 30% of me wasn't sure if I was just imagining things. It was very dark after all. They didn't want to move though, so I didn't either.
Shit. What? Yo, some of these scenarios, like these people don't be making no sense. Like they don't at all. Like I guarantee you, if I was in his situation, and I know what I saw, like I saw it's dark, Woods. First of all, I'm not gonna be in no woods, right? But if I was in his situation and I saw a face in the distance, and I know 100% that I saw a fucking face, right? And I tell my friends, what I saw, and they just think I'm crazy. Okay, well, by all means, you keep thinking that I'm crazy. You keep thinking that shit. Because my scary ass is going the other way. Is hauling ass to civilization. Because I know what I saw. And I'm not about to get wrapped up by whatever it is in the distance. So go ahead and stay right here, because I'm not. There's a reason why I came out here with my Adidas on. I can't.
We smoked, and the higher I got, the more paranoid I got.
Right, okay.
I secretly never really enjoyed smoking too much for that reason. It gets me paranoid. But I went along with it just because it was what my group of friends did.
Yo, you one of those people.
Now that I was high, all that I was thinking of was that face in the woods. Did someone see us? Were we gonna get in trouble? That's all I could think about. My friends wanted to walk through the woods now to an old shack that used to be used by the school for something. It was about a minute walk into the woods. I was uncomfortable with it.
Fuck your friends.
The air started to feel moist, and I started to feel those tiny pre-storm rain droplets.
Fuck your
I
friends.
once again warned them that we should go back because of the storm. They kind of ignored me. On the way there, I swore I could hear footsteps that weren't ours. But honestly, I was so high I didn't even know where I was hearing them from. In front of us, behind us, to the left, right, I had no idea. Then, from behind us, I was sure I heard a big stick snap in half. I stopped and turned around, saying loudly, "What the fuck was that?" My friends stopped too, but they didn't hear it apparently. There was nobody visible behind us, and once again, my friends thought I was an idiot. Apparently, I seemed like I was losing my mind because I became the blunt of all my friends' jokes after that. The big old shack finally came into view. It was bigger than I remembered, and more creepy looking. The school stopped using this old building years ago, probably because it looked like it was about to collapse. Even the path that led to the front door had grass growing through the cracks. The front door was wedged open, of course. Surely students came in there all the time. My friend Jack pushed open the door fully with force. It was so dark in there. There was little light from outside to begin with. It seemed like there was just a bunch of old, empty crates, a lot of them smashed to pieces. There was a kind of nasty smell, however, one that my friends didn't remember the last time we were in there. The sound of something squishy plopping on the ground, and then a foot hitting the wood floor made us all jump. In the corner of the room was the shadow outline of a really tall person. We could only see him due to the little amount of light sneaking in through the window. We didn't scream or anything. We simply walked out the door the way we came in and walked quickly back in the direction of the school, aka civilization. All three of us took a look back at the window nearest to the person, and I swear to God, at that exact moment, the first flash of lightning struck, and what we saw during that flash was nothing short of horrifying. There was a guy with a seriously deformed face standing at the window, and I don't mean to talk ill of anyone with any kind of deformity, but this man almost didn't look human. Half of his face seemed to be drooping down. You couldn't even see one of his eyes. He was so close to the window too, his face was practically pressed up against it. I initiated a run and my friends followed. We got back down to the sump in less than a minute, where we collected our thoughts on what to do next, just as the rain started to finally come down. And just then, my friend Jack pointed up the hill back to the woods. There was a person standing behind a shrub, exposing only his face. just like what I saw before. This time 10 times closer, but still not close enough to describe his face. All I know is it wasn't the same person as in the shack. We ran back to the school and hid by the back entrance where it was dry. We all came to an agreement to just go home, forget about what just happened, not to tell anyone, and never go back to that shack again. And that was exactly what we did.
Y'all should have agreed on not to do no more bullshit like that.
Our school had this door that led down to a half stairway to some weird dark hallway. A lot of students knew about it, but nobody really knew what was down there. The door only seemed to be open during fire drills, in which just about every door in the building is opened. My friend Kyle and I were particularly interested in finding out what was down there. I'll admit I was a pretty bad student in my first 2 years of high school, and I got into a lot of trouble. So Kyle and I planning to venture down there during a fire drill wasn't one of our dumbest ideas. We had 3 classes together out of 8, so our chances of being in the same class during a fire drill was pretty decent, and luckily it happened during study hall. So as the alarm rang, Kyle and I ran to one of the bathrooms, which already had its door wedged open with a door stopper. We hid in one of the stalls until all the commotion in the hall was gone and everyone was outside. Then, getting down those stairs was a piece of cake. There was a very dim light hanging from the ceiling. It gave off just enough light to see a doorway that led to another half flight of stairs. This one to complete darkness. We looked for a light switch, but couldn't find one. We used the screens on our phones as light to navigate the dark. We found a door that had a "Do Not Enter" sign on it. Of course, what did we do? We opened the door, struggling at that nonetheless. It felt like it was 1,000 pounds, and it scraped along the floor as if it had fallen off its hinges. When we managed to get it open, we found just a small, square room, maybe 100 square feet. The room wasn't silent, though. There was a little clicking sound, kind of like a metallic dinging. It was coming from a vent in the corner. We had to see what it could be.
What?
Maybe an animal or something. But as we went closer, we started to hear grunting and groaning type noises. Kyle dared me to hover the screen over the vent to see what was inside. I really wanted to know what was in there, so I did. I pressed the screen of my phone up to the vents and got on my knees. Now I could hear breathing. I pressed my ear up against the vent and immediately felt something grab onto my ear. I screamed in a panic, and Kyle quickly came and pulled the hand off my ear. I jumped away from the vent first of all, and saw a hand reaching through it. Kyle and I ran out of there, shutting the "Do Not Enter" door behind us, and running back upstairs to the bathroom. The next day, Kyle and I went to talk to the janitor, Tom. He was one of the janitors who didn't really give a crap about his job. He didn't even seem angry about us going down there. He just asked what we were doing. We explained what happened and asked if there was somebody working in the vents. He said nobody had been in that room for years, nor was there any way into that vent down there. Kyle and I looked at each other, and I knew his heart sank just like mine did, as we both stood there wondering, who was in that vent down there that day?
Hey, bro. Real life. If I'm ever in school or at a job or just like anywhere and a fire alarm goes off, not only am I hauling ass, right, with my Adidas on, of course, but I'm hauling ass out of the main exit, like how you come in, and like I'm like I'm running out the main doors. I'm not looking for any other exits. I'm not looking for no shortcuts. I'm not waiting on nobody. You know, I'm definitely not hiding. Um, I'm just running. That point blank period. I don't got time to be waiting on nobody. Like, if you're not behind me, then oh well, you know. Um, if for some reason, if now if I run and I'm already outside and I'm safe, right? But you wasn't directly behind me, but you still made it out safe. Then we can talk about it on why I left you inside the building. Sure we can. I that's just who I am. You know, like I care about people and I love people, but you gotta take care of yourself. Like you can't be worry. How do you? You can't be caring about everybody else. You can't, because if you do, I mean, sure, it's okay to a certain extent, but like you can't put other people before you, like in front of you, because you do that, you don't get your shit fucked up. But all I'm saying is, just run. That's my motto towards anything. Just run, haul ass, kick rocks, you know, because I'd be damned if I during a fire drill, or when a fire alarm goes off and I have to wait on somebody and we both get fucked up, I'm gonna be pissed. Now I don't know, because I haven't been in high school in a while, so I don't know if I don't know if we high school like still do fire drills, or I don't know if they do that or not. I don't know if school just in general does that. But I remember the time when I did do a fire drill, and I don't know if they told us to hide under the desk, or because I remember doing a fire drill and they had us leave the school, just like like we was still on school property, but they just had us leave like the actual school itself, so we would just be right outside the school. But they had us leaving the school in single file line. You got me. You Nah. In a real fire drill, and there's not gonna be, like, if some shit really pop off, and there's not gonna be no like no line outside the door. It's gonna be straight chaos. And trust and believe me, if a fire alarm ever goes off, like I'm out. I'm out that shit. Like I'm one of the first people, if not the first person, out the school, out the building, wherever I am. If I hear a fire alarm, I'm gone. Just saying, you know. You gotta take care of yourself and then worry about everybody else. Because if you worry about everybody else before you worry about yourself, you bound to get your shit fucked up. But yeah, that's just what I would do, you know. I'm a runner, always have been, and always will be, right? But yeah, just answer that in the comment section below. Do schools still do fire drills and all that? But in a real life scenario, like what would you do if a fire alarm ever went off? Like I don't even care if it's like if somebody did it as a prank and they just pulled it. I'm still running. I'm like, you can't take nothing. Like, you can't be taking that chance, bruh. I'm going out the main doors. Like I said, yeah, I'm going out the main doors. I'm not finding no other exits. I'm not no, just no. You know, that's it. Like if and you can I don't care. You can tell your teacher this. Tell your teacher this. That Gator said, right, that if a real fire alarm went off in a real situation went off, to just haul ass. Well, don't be cursing at your teacher, but just tell your teacher that Gator said to run as fast as you can. Drop everything and stop what you doing. I don't care if you're doing schoolwork. I don't care if you're doing just work in general. You know, I don't care if you're having sex. I don't care if you're using a bathroom and if you're doing a deuce, you better clench your butt cheeks and cut that poop off prematurely. You pull up your shits and you right. So, yeah. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.